Hey, what's up guys, Klein here. So for today, we're gonna talk about a BT5 ready yellow deck. Okay, so since BT5 is just a couple of weeks away, I think it's appropriate for us to be looking into some BT5 cards and some BT5 builds. Please do note though that all of the BT5 cards haven't been revealed yet as of the moment, so I'm just including some of the leaked cards right now. Okay, starting from our DGX, we have 4 copies of Upamon. For me right now, Upamon is just the best DGX for yellow at the moment because it makes you draw cards whenever your security pile is at 3 cards or less, and drawing cards is always good on any trading card game. Next is a single copy of Tokomon. So this deck, we're more focused on controlling the board state of our enemy. So we would be including tons of cards which has a minus DP effect. And whenever we destroy an enemy or we put the DP of a Digimon of an enemy onto 0, we get plus 1000 DP if Tokomon is on our Digivolution source. And that plus 1000 DP can be quite handy whenever we attack the security of our opponent, or if we want to crash on another Digimon of our opponent. So moving on to our rookies, we have 4 copies of Patamon. This Patamon is from the ST deck. So what Patamon does is, if Patamon is on your Digivolution source, its inheritable skill is once per turn. Whenever we are reducing an opponent's Digimon's DP onto 0, we gain 1 memory. As I've said before, we are gonna include tons of cards which reduce the DP of our enemy, and most probably we're gonna trigger Patamon's skill. Okay, next on our rookie list, we have 4 copies of Bushi Agumon. So Bushi Agumon is really good if you want to surprise your enemy with rush attacks, and Bushi Agumon can kinda be played freely using some megas, which I will be discussing later on. And Bushi Agumon is just a great card if you wanna rush your opponent's security. And lastly, we have 4 copies of Starmons. So Starmon is a BT5 card, it's a new card. So what Starmon does is, whenever we play Starmon, one of our opponent's Digimon gets minus 1000 DP for the turn for each Digimon you have on the play. So if you have if you played Starmon by itself, an opponent's Digimon gets minus 1000 DP. But if you have a full board of Digimon and you play Starmon, your opponent's Digimon can get up to maybe 4000, minus 5000, even minus 6000 DP. So Starmon is really good on deleting our opponent's Digimon whenever, for example, we are getting rushed by rookies or even champions. Starmon can do the job on deleting those enemies. Okay, lastly on my rookie list, it's just like a filler. It is actually a flex spot, so I included 1 copy of Salamon. So what Salamon does is, its inheritable skill is, whenever you attack your Digimon with Salamon on your Digivolution source, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 1000 DP. It can be quite handy sometimes if you wanna crash onto our opponent's Digimon with the same DP as ours, so we can reduce its DP by 1000, and in return, only his Digimon gets deleted. But if you wanna play another rookie, it's fine, you can change Salamon onto other rookies, because I only included 1 copy so that I can fix my ratios a bit, because I don't wanna break early on the games. Okay, lastly, we have Lucimon. Yes, Lucimon is a rookie, but I don't really consider Lucimon as a rookie on my ratios. So what Lucimon does is, whenever we play Lucimon, we get to recover +1. Yes, Lucimon has, you need tons of memory to play Lucimon, but it's not a problem with yellow because you have tons of ways to cheat on Lucimon's play cost, because he's a rookie and most of the megas of the yellow deck has skills wherein you can freely play a level 3 Digimon without paying their memory cost. Okay, moving on to our champions, we have 2 copies of Pidamon and 2 copies of Unimon. You might ask me why I did not choose to have 4 copies of Pidomon or even 4 copies of Unimon. I wanted to split because first, Pidomon is really good if you wanna turbo Digivolve into your Megas because Pidomon Digivolution cost is only 1. But at the same time, since Green has Nidhoggmon, that 6k DP threshold is really important so that it won't be included on the board wipe of Nidhoggmon. So I included 2 copies of Unimon because Unimon has 6k DP and it won't be affected with Nidhoggmon's skill. So next on our champion list, we have 3 copies of Growlmon. So Growlmon is he's okay. He only costs 2 to Digivolve. He only costs 4 memory to hardcast. But at the same time, whenever your security pile is at 3 cards or less, you can get that plus 1000 DP, which can be clutch on later on the games. Okay, lastly on our champion list, we have 4 copies of Terriermon. So Terriermon is good with because he only costs 1 to Digivolve. The same reason why we included Pidomon. And we just wanna turbo Digivolve into our Megas, even our level 7s. And Terriermon will do a good job since he only costs 1 to Digivolve. Okay, so on to our level 5s. First, we have 2 copies of Angel Woman. Angel Woman is really good, especially when your security pile is at 3 or less. Because first, whenever you Digivolve into Angel Woman, one of your opponent's Digimon gets -2 security attack. That is really good since you just want to delay the attacks of your opponent as much as possible until you reach to your Mega or even your level 7s. And Angel Woman does a really good job on that. And of course, if your security pile is 3 or fewer, if you have Angel Woman as your inheritable skill, whenever you attack with that Digimon, you get to play freely a level 3 Digimon. So, as we remember, Lucemon is a level 3 Digimon. Bushiagumon is also a level 3 Digimon. Even though those rookies costs a lot to hard play, we can cheat on them using Angel Woman's inheritable skill. Okay, next on our level 5 list, we have 3 copies of War Growlmon. So War Growlmon, I think this is right now the best level 5 at this deck list because whenever we Digiburst 2 with War Growlmon, we can we can give -4000 DP on one of our opponent's Digimon. And most of the rookies has 4k or less DP, so that's an automatic delete. And not only that, we can also stack up War Growlmon's -4000 DP with maybe a Starmon's on-play effect, which can maybe delete a level 5 or level 4 Digimon. So War Growlmon is just good because it's kind of free. I mean, its skill is kind of free because you only Digiburst 2, so that your opponent gets -4000 DP. And as a bonus, you also get, just like Growlmon's inheritable skill, you get plus 1000 DP whenever your security is at 3 or fewer. So next on our level 5 list, we have 3 copies of Nightmon. So Nightmon is another new card from BT5. So on-play effect of Nightmon would be -4000 DP until the end of turn, and he costs 3 to Digivolve. Yes, that's kinda underwhelming if you compare it with War Growlmon and Angel Woman, but with this build of this deck list, we have several ways to freely cheat on Nightmon. I mean, we can freely cast Nightmon. So we're moving on now to our level 6. So as I've said before, this is a way to freely cast our Nightmon. We have Crusadermon. So Crusadermon is a new card from BT5. So what Crusadermon does is, whenever you attack, you may play 1 level 3 yellow Digimon card or 1 yellow Digimon card with Warrior in its type without paying its memory cost. So it has the same skill as Angel Woman, but you don't have to, you don't need to be at the threshold of 3 or fewer security to be able to activate Crusadermon's effect. And as a bonus, you can also play a warrior type Digimon without paying its memory cost. It doesn't matter if it's a level 3, a level 4, a level 5, or a level 6 maybe in the future. As long as it's a warrior type Digimon. And one of the new warrior type Digimons for BT5 is Nightmon. So as you can see here down below, Nightmon is a warrior type Digimon. So if you attack with Crusadermon, you can freely play Nightmon, which is a level 5 by the way, onto the field without paying its memory cost. As a bonus, Crusadermon also has this skill where on both turns you get plus 1000 DP for each other Digimon that you have on the field. So Crusadermon can be really buffed later on the games, and it's gonna be a pain to remove Crusadermon even if your opponent has a 13, 14, or even a 15k DP Digimon, because Crusadermon can really attain that 15k DP, since this build freely casts most of our level 3s, and we can swarm our enemies with tons of Digimon. Okay, moving on to our next level 6s, we have 3 copies of Slash Angemon. So Slash Angemon is really good for removing most of the level 5 Digimon of our opponent, or we can even stack up Slash Angemon's effect with War Growlmon's effect. So what Slash Angemon does is, whenever we Digivolve into Slash Angemon, one of our opponent's Digimon gets minus 8k DP until the end of the turn. So what we can do here is we can Digiburst with War Growlmon, so that's minus 4k DP. And then we Digivolve War Growlmon into Slash Angemon, so that's another minus 8k DP. So if you stack those up, you can have like minus 12k DP, and you can even remove a level 6 Digimon onto the field. So Slash Angemon is really good in just deleting most of your opponent's key Digimons so that it can disrupt their plays. Okay, lastly on our Digimon list, we have 3 copies of Chaosmon Valderarm. So the same reason why we included Slash Angemon, Chaosmon Valderarm just removes tons of our opponent's Digimon, especially if they have low DP, because what Chaosmon does is, whenever we Digivolve into Chaosmon, we can choose one of our opponent's Digimon and we can reduce its DP by 7,000. Not only that, we can activate that skill twice. So you can do a minus 14k DP on a single Digimon, or you can choose 2 Digimons and do the minus 7k DP. So Chaosmon Valderarm is really annoying because it removes most of your opponent's Digimon. Okay, so we're moving on to the option cards. First, we have 3 copies of Blinding Light. Actually, these are the option cards that I included on this list because we have so many rookies, including Lucemon, and we don't have much space anymore for more option cards. So three copies of Blinding Light. What Blinding Light does is we just discard the top of our security pile and then we gain 2 memory. So it's really useful if we wanna extend our plays, just like what we do with Blue's Vulcan's Hammer. So Blinding Light is really good if you wanna Digivolve into your level 6 attack and then Digivolve into Chaosmon at the same turn. So Blinding Light does a really good job on that. Okay, so lastly we have our Tamer. We have 3 copies of TK. So I just want TK because first, if you play TK, you can dig up some cards on your security pile if you're missing maybe a level 5 or a level 6 on your hand, and you use TK, you may find one of the missing Digivolution stages that you need, and TK does a really good job on that. Not only that, TK also has the generic Tamer skill wherein you always start at 3 memory. And that's it for today's deck list. Please do comment down below about your thoughts on this deck, and if you have any suggestions, do share them on the comment section down below. By the way, I will also link up a video on the gameplay for this deck, so you guys can check that out. And of course, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do hit that subscribe button for more for future Digimon TCG content. And I also have a Facebook page at SaberCline, do check that out. And of course, see you guys next time. Peace out.